Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Empowered Chat. My name is Christina Andre. I am a marketing associate for Rehmann, and I'm lucky enough to be sitting down today with Paul Kennedy, who is a senior manager in the IT and security solutions, and he is also the lead for our CyberReady product. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Christina, thanks for having the opportunity to speak again today. I appreciate the chance to come talk about CyberReady.
Thank you. So we'll just jump in real quick. Can you tell us what CyberReady is?
CyberReady is a process that we take our clients through in order to help them stand up their overall cybersecurity or improve the cybersecurity if they already have an existing program. Cybersecurity oftentimes comes down to executing on the basic block and tackling of a number of key functions throughout the organization on a consistent basis. So we need to help organizations build a strategy of how they're going to make sure all those functions are actually doing the parts that they should be, and they're doing them the best way possible to make sure that they are secure. At the end of the day, ideally we'll have help clients actually stand up that cybersecurity program, prepare them to actually be able to execute on that program in the future, or bring in someone with appropriate skill sets to help run that program for them going forward.
Great, thank you. So why is this so important, and who really benefits from CyberReady?
Yeah, absolutely. So it is extremely important to have that solid cybersecurity strategy in place and then to execute on it consistently. Those threats that are out there, the two biggest ones these days are ransomware and business email compromises, are very easy to slip through the cracks of a program that doesn't have a robust program in place across the board. We recently did a webinar that is available on our website called Cybersecurity, Why You Should Give a Damn, that talks about how building a cybersecurity strategy is like building a dam on a waterfront or across a river. And you have to make sure that that dam is solidly built across the entirety of the river. Otherwise, you're just letting water through in a different spot. And so cybersecurity strategy is very similar in that you have to make sure that you're not just buying the latest flashy tool that some salesperson has reached out to you about. You need to make sure you're starting with that strategy, and then based on that strategy that looks at the specific risks applicable to your organization, you're choosing the right tools for you as an organization and then deploying them and making sure that they're working effectively. So this program is really for anyone, but especially those that are probably a little less mature on that cybersecurity process. And then business leadership team for the organization, as well as the whole leadership team, really benefits, because at the end of the day, we need to keep in mind that cybersecurity is not just an IT risk. It's actually a business risk that the IT team can help you address, but it comes down to the actual ability of your business to do what you do best on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you. Now, you mentioned the threats, but what are some of the other risks business are facing if they don't have the cybersecurity plan in place?
So I talked about the two biggest risks these days, or biggest threats these days, being ransomware or business email compromise. And both of those boil down to financial impact to your organization. So the actual risk to your organization from those threats is that, if, for example, of ransomware, they'll come in and encrypt your systems, and whether it's the servers that are hosting your key data or the systems, the manufacturing systems on your plant floor, all the operational technology, if you're in the manufacturing space, if that ransomware gets deployed on those computers, you're not going to actually be able to sell your products or services to your customers, because you're going to be shut down from doing business until you either pay the ransom or you find some way to restore yourself back to operation. And so ultimately, that risk to your organization is, hey, are we going to lose the average of 7 to 20 days of business operations in a ransomware event? Or in the example of a business email compromise, oftentimes what they're trying to do is impersonate one of your vendors or impersonating you to one of your customers, and making that person change that accounting information, that ACH information, to the criminal's bank account or a series of bank accounts, and then getting those funds transferred into the attacker's bank accounts instead. So again, a financial impact to you as an organization if you don't have that cybersecurity program in place. So.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that. Now let's say like I'm a C-suite and I know I have to invest financially into the CyberReady. But what is the time investment needed for building out the cybersecurity plan as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is probably a great time to talk through what that program looks like. Lots of great information available on our website of what the process looks like for CyberReady, but to at least talk through it. We do a series of workshops, and most of those workshops pull in certain or a majority of your leadership team to participate and contribute to the conversation. The first workshop is our CyberReady strategy workshop. And that workshop, it's a 90-minute to 2-hour meeting slash workshop that we run with your executive leadership team, key representatives at different departments across the organization. And what that workshop does is it focuses on making sure that your team is educated on the basics of cybersecurity. And then we have a very high level discussion about where your program currently stands so that the whole leadership team is about the same page about the amount of investment required and the priority of this to the organization. So that's the first workshop, the strategy workshop. The second workshop is a series of meetings. We call this the Identify workshop. And it's a series of meetings with various representatives of different departments throughout your organization. Those representatives are going to be the individuals who can speak to the different assets, data assets that are critical to your organization continuing to move forward. Each of those meetings is about 1 to 2 hours. And with that key representative and usually a member representative of the IT team, on average, that takes a total of probably about 10 to 15 man hours from the client that brings us in. The third workshop is our protection workshop. In the protection workshop, we'll do a gap assessment against an industry leading cybersecurity framework like the NIST cybersecurity framework. This one tends to focus more on the IT team. We'll talk through the 100+ different controls that NIST recommends as a part of the cybersecurity framework to make sure that you have them in place. And if you don't, talk about what that looks like for your organization. Is that a control that should be key to you as an organization? If so, how would you go about implementing it? And so that usually winds up being 3 to 5 hours-ish of actual time spent with the IT leadership team talking through that gap assessment. Finally is the policy and procedure series of workshops where we'll help you actually write your policies and procedures if you would like, so that you can have your information security program captured and documented for your own purposes and to be able to transfer that information to anyone new coming into your organization. That is usually winds up being about 10 hours effort from the IT leadership team and potentially other members of the overall executive leadership team to pull in make sure the policy and procedure information that we're capturing is complete and accurate for you as an organization. So overall, it can vary what the time commitment is, but hopefully that gives you a good picture of what the process looks like and the amount of time that generally is required.
Thank you for walking us through those stages and really describing the process. But when the process is all completed, what's the goal? What are we walking away with?
Absolutely. So there's a number of key things that I think are easy takeaways from this process. Visibility is first off. You know where you stand as an organization with regard to your cybersecurity program. Way too often, our IT teams need to be focused on just making sure that the lights stay on from an operations perspective and that you have the IT resources available to you to actually execute on your business plans. And lost in that often becomes cybersecurity. And so as you focus on keeping the lights on from an IT perspective, you're trying to be secure, but you're not really sure where your cybersecurity program stands overall. This gives you that visibility. And make sure that you have an actual plan. So we will have built an actual strategy for how you should be securing your organization. We'll have helped you, if you'd like, along the way, actually deploy those different security mechanisms. And we'll have it captured in policy and procedure so it's transferable to someone in the future, and you can know what your expectations are for yourselves as an organization. After that process ends, CyberReady as a service wraps up. You're set up to be able to execute on that plan going forward. Or I have an idea of, hey, is this something where we need to pull someone else in to actually help make sure that program is executed consistently going forward? So out of this process, you'll get great visibility of where your program currently stands. You'll have a strategy of what you should be doing and a plan to execute that strategy going forward.
Thank you. Yeah, if there's not anything else for this, if anyone has any questions about CyberReady or would like to learn more, we will have a link where you can get a free CyberReady download resource. Thank you, Paul, for taking the time today, and we hope everyone has a great day.
Thank you all.